Welcome along, everybody, to practice one for the Formula One Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix. Yes, it is no longer the Spanish Grand Prix. It is now the Barcelona Catalunya Grand Prix. What a shit name. Just call it the fucking Barcelona Grand Prix. That is because Madrid has now been changed over to the Spanish Grand Prix. But we're live for practice one. If you're new here, this is how it works. You've got my face here, you've got the live timings here, you've got the session timer down the bottom left that you can sync on up with, and you've got lovely Twitch chat you can type in. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, come join us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Ponden. We're live all weekend. We've got practice 2 and F2 qualifying today, but practice is about to begin. Can't show the broadcast live. It is obviously copyrighted, but we've just had some breaking news. Pierre Gasly's penalties in Monaco have been removed, meaning his podium has been reinstated, meaning Hadjimu's down to P4, Piastri down to P5, Liam down to P6, Arvid down to P7, and so on and so on. So it affects the championship majorly for a lot of teams. But there's a lot of questions now with that whole situation. We were just talking about it before we got into the watch along, so let's keep talking about it now. But first off, coming in this weekend, we've got a special livery for VCarb, obviously celebrating the World Cup and football culture as a whole. Absolutely lovely livery. I've got their new kit on. Beautiful, beautiful. Shout out Racing Balls for sending me that. I think other than that, there's nothing too crazy coming in this weekend. Oh, I forgot. It is a pretty interesting practice one session. We've got a bunch of rookies. Don't know why it's all in white right now. Tell me if that comes back. But if you don't know, I think it's 4 times a year F1 teams need to put a rookie. A rookie is classed as someone who's done less than 2 Grand Prix before in the car as a rookie test. So today we have got, let's go through the list. Colton Herta in the Cadillac. If you don't know, Colton Herta is an IndyCar driver who decided to quit IndyCar to pursue Formula 2 to try and get his license points to hopefully make it to Formula 1. He's been very underwhelming at F2 so far, but let's see what he can do in an F1 car today. We've got Ayumu Iwasa in the Red Bull. Now, Iwasa is a part of the Red Bull Junior program, is a reserve driver for Red Bull and VCarb. Kind of just missed out on getting a Red Bull drive. You know, he kind of got jumped by Liam, Hadja, and Lindblad. You know, he probably was good enough to make it to F1, but wasn't as good as the other Red Bull Juniors. Obviously, the Red Bull Junior program is fucking massive. So, yeah. Let me get the timer up for you guys. Why is my nose running so much? All right, timer's up, sync on up. Continue to go through. We've got Fornaroli, F3 and F2 champion back-to-back, just like Oscar Piastri. He is in the car for McLaren? Yes, he's in the car for McLaren. I'm a big advocate for Fornaroli. You know, look at Piastri, how good of a driver he is. He went back-to-back F3, F2 champion. That's what Fornaroli did. I feel like there's less hype for Fornaroli. I'd love to see him in Formula 1 one day. Who else we got? Beganovic, Swedish driver, part of the Ferrari Driver Academy. He is in the Ferrari today. Oh, looks like Sainz has an issue already. Great. We've got Paul Aaron in the Alpine. He's part of the Alpine Academy. He used to be a Mercedes reserve driver, then moved over to Alpine. He's pretty solid as well. And then going through, is there anyone else? Luke Browning in for Williams. Luke Browning is a great guy. I would love to see him in F1 one day. He had a really good F2 season. I'm fairly sure he got I'm fairly sure he got British Rookie of the Year or something like that last year. Yeah, he was really, really solid. We've got a yellow flag in the pit lane. Nice. Luke Browning is also part of Verstappen Sim Racing, so you've probably seen him on those streams before. And then we've got Frederick Vesti in the Mercedes. Frederick Vesti's been a part of Mercedes for a while now. Never made it to Formula 1, but has been a reserve driver for the team for many, many years. If you don't know, Fred Vesti was the first driver I ever made content with. We did some open lobbies back in 2021 when he was in F3. Got to see him move up to F2, and now he's in the F1 world doing WEC as well. I'm actually surprised Vesti isn't in Le Mans right now doing Le Mans. I believe he's a driver for, is it Cadillac or Chevrolet in WEC? So I'm surprised he's not there. But anyways, that is why we've got rookies in the car. But yeah, back to the news. Pierre Gasly getting his P3 reinstated. Now, we'll talk about before the stream started, but before the watch along started. But man, I don't know how I feel about it, dude. Like, I think the main thing The main thing is people crying that Gasly was robbed. Let's calm down. Let's remember that if this whole shit show didn't happen, Russell would have got a podium. Russell would still be in the championship, or like would have more points in the championship. So let's not pretend that like Gasly was robbed. The real robbery here is Russell. And then if it wasn't Russell, Piastri would have got a podium. And if it wasn't Piastri, Gasly would have got a podium. So, let's remember Gasly was like third in line for that podium. Fourth in line for that podium, probably. So Gasly wasn't robbed. He's benefited from the fuckery. He's just him and his team were the only ones that realized that there was a fuckery and didn't serve their pens and got them reviewed. But yeah, man, it's so crazy that obviously Gasly gets his pens removed, but then the guys who served it can't get it removed because obviously they served it. I think this sets up a pretty poor precedent now that like maybe teams won't serve pens because they'll just review them after the race. But then also, if you don't serve a pen, don't you get like a disqualification or something like that? Like, how does that work? No, you just get added on at the end of the race. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out now. But yeah, what absolute fuck up from the FIA. You know, obviously not measuring the pit lane properly with the addition of Cadillac being there. Look, I get it. Mistakes happen. Mistakes shouldn't happen. But like, at the end of the day, my understanding is they measured the line. And they didn't expect teams to cut the line. So you could argue that maybe it's the teams and drivers' fault for cutting that line, but then the rules say you're allowed to cut the line. So, you know, at the end of the day, they've got a system to check the speed of a car, but it's not based off of the speed of the car. It's based off of the distance of the car. So it's a shitty system at the end of the day. It's a shitty system that adds maybe too much variables like that. Maybe you could start to question, you know, speeding lane pens that have been like 0.1 or 0.2 over in the past. Is that because of this? You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. A lot of questions. But at the end of the day, my main takeaway from this, other than that Russell was robbed of a podium and a lot of points due to no fault of his own, my main takeaway from this is the stewards realized that there must have been an issue during the race. The FIA should have realized there must have been an issue. They took too long to react as they normally do. They did not think on the spot well enough. And they let drivers serve pens that they shouldn't have gotten. That is absolutely poor. What the fuck is happening on F1 TV this weekend? We've got the F2 commentator on commentary instead of Jolien. What's happening to Jolien? And we've got Callum Nicholas on F1 TV instead of like where is everyone taking a break? Where's F1 TV crew gone, bro? My nose is running. 1 sec. Let me go grab thing. I'm back. Oh. Okay, let me scroll all the way back up in chat to the messages I can see. George wanted to contest the penalty as well in the race. Russell got to lose championship by 14 points. I imagine. I don't need Antonelli to win. I just need Russell to lose. McLaren have put in an appeal though, because it affects Oscar. Yeah, but they can't do anything because they served the pen. It's such a weird spot. 4 ped, they even followed it. We need to do another ceremony. Thanks. Stop complaining, you child. What? Nice vibration of the brakes already. Woo! It's bullshit for sure. To be fair, Russell got a pen because they fucked up the pit stop and started changing tires right away. I get that he shouldn't have gone in a pen in the first place, but still the drive-through. That is fair. The drive-through was for their own fuck up, but the pen came from some bullshit. So, Yeah. Hedges penalty for repair was removed too. Well, that was removed. That was just never. That didn't even get a penalty in the first place. Massive points for A-Line, comfortably in fifth in Alpine, comfortably fifth in the constructors now. Yep. Jumped up comfortably ahead of VCAR because of that. Which means Liam and Arvid got 6-7. 6-7. They can do the 6-7 meme now. Toto don't care about George anymore. He has Kibby now. Exactly. I think this creates such a loophole. Teams can just refuse penalties and appeal them now. But the thing is, you need to have a basis to appeal on. And the main thing is you need to have new evidence, right? You need to have new evidence. And that was the thing. Alpine knew it was a problem, so they're able to appeal it. Oh, shout out the fucking Lewis Hamilton fans. Why didn't Lewis get it right for the review? Well, they didn't even appeal it, bro. They didn't even appeal it. Did they? I can't remember now. I'm surprised that they didn't just admit fault, but said they won't be reinstating due to the pens, making it impossible to work out such verify the end of the race results. But that's the thing. Gasly didn't serve his pen, so they can do that. They can't do it the other ones. But that means they're admitting that they falsely penalized Russell, Piastri, Colapinto, and whoever the other driver was. And the Mons watch along throughout the weekend. Yeah, we're gonna try watch Le Mans tomorrow, but unfortunately the race start and end clashes with F1, so we're just gonna have to watch in between. One name is on the back of your shirt. Sure, mate. Bro, I just got served by the race admin. Called him out for AI slop and he proved me wrong. Wait, you called something AI slop and it wasn't even AI. They all choose Spain because it's a balanced track, so fairly easy to learn and good benchmark for data. Yeah, no, it makes sense to have a rookie test here in Spain. One, it's into the calendar, so like, you know, yeah, it's a pretty hard track to crash, so it means like if a rookie does crash, it's not gonna cause a problem for the team during the weekend. Obviously, there's 3 practice sessions. It's a track they've been to during testing, so they need less data than other tracks. And yeah, it's a pretty easy track at the end of the day. Would love to see a great Bogdanovic shine. Yeah, it would be good to see Bogdanovic do well here. Simon did say he was expecting a tough weekend here. That probably doesn't help. Sure, with this Gasly decision, so many drivers are not going to serve penalties anymore going forward on the off chance they might get reinstated. I mean, it depends on the penalty, right? If you get a penalty for contact, I mean, then again, that's the thing though. You can only appeal the decision if there's new evidence. So if you drive into the side of someone, get a 5-second pen, you don't serve it, and then appeal it. First off, you're using one of your appeals during the year. You only get a certain amount of appeals every single year. But 2, like, what new evidence are you going to bring? You know what I mean? So in this case, there was new evidence that could be brought to this situation. So I think some people are maybe making a bigger deal than what it actually is. I don't think every single penalty is now just not going to be served in case they appeal. But there will be situations now where a driver might be like, I'm not 100% happy with that, or the team's like, I'm not 100% happy with that. And they know that they can now not serve the pen and appeal it. But like, that's always been the case. And big shout out to Alpine for thinking about that and noticing that during the race. Because if you're being honest, to be honest, let's be real here. Actually, I've just called out everyone for roasting, for roasting FIA, for robbing Gasly of a podium. Meanwhile, Russell's the real culprit here. At the end of the day, maybe like, you got to look at it like, maybe you got to look at the other side of things and be like, well, why did Mercedes, why did McLaren, why did the other teams serve their pens if they thought there was an issue? You know what I mean? Why did they serve their pens? Why did they not think about how they could appeal it later? I mean, it's a fucky situation again, right? I'm really 50-50 on it. Like, you can blame the FIA for not having a proper system, but then you can also see where it is not really their fault. Like, the teams are choosing to cut the line and they measure based off of the line. You know, I obviously blame the FIA for not reacting quicker, but like the whole situation, like that's such a fucky situation. Like, it's such a unique situation for it to happen, right? Then you look at the teams, like, you know, obviously they shouldn't have got the 5-second pens. That absolutely sucks for them. But like, if they knew there was an issue, why did they serve the pens and not appeal it like Alpine? Went over the curb in turn 8. Oh, heard almost lost the car. Nice. How's it going? The Jess over the street. Was Alpine the only team to challenge the penalties? Yes, because they're the only ones that didn't serve them. You cannot appeal a penalty you served. When you serve a penalty, you're admitting that you're happy, or like you're accepting the penalty when you serve the penalty. Whole Formula 1 FOM and FIA is the biggest loser. You shouldn't be penalized for something you didn't do wrong. No, do you know actually who's the biggest loser here? Formula One. Because as far as I'm aware, correct me if I'm wrong, this has nothing to do with Formula One. This has nothing to do with FOM. I don't think FOM had any part of this situation. The only part FOM would have had a problem with was seeing the pens come through and then going to the FIA and being like, hey, can we like chill out and review this later? But the FIA is the governing body of Formula One. So the sporting regulators of Formula One. They're the ones who impose the rules, who make the penalties, who make the systems. This has nothing to do with F1. And obviously F1 are going to cop flack for this, but it's not their fault. I mean, obviously they hire FIA, but like, this is solely the FIA's fault. And I'm not going to lie, with how quick FOM were to... Okay. Gabby being called Lisa. Nice. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. FOM. Yes, obviously they hire the FIA. But, like, they hire the FIA because they have to have a, a separate body doing this stuff. And if they don't do a good enough job, like, I don't know, man. It's the FIA's fault at the end of it. Oh, that's what I was saying. With how quick the FOM were to agree the appeals and how quick FOM were to kind of like push the blame on FIA, I think it does go to show how F1 aren't really happy with the FIA lately. I'm surprised that they didn't just admit fault, but they said they won't be reinstating the penalty to make it impossible to work out. Whatever that. Why does Gadsby cut again? That's what I don't understand. Hey, Ponden, Cadillac were robbed of a point from Monaco race also. Why is there still no German F1 race? Cadillac were robbed? Fucking Perez sat outside his box twice. You know what can solve it? Have a speedometer at the pin entry. Speed sensor, but they can be like really iffy. Callum Nicholas was good on weekend warm-up, and his first appearance on the feed now was good. He seems like a really good addition. No, he seems great. Nothing against Callum. I was just saying, like, it's crazy how there's so many different people on the F1 TV broadcast today. Harry Benjamin's on Sky as well. Yes, Crofty looks like taking a weekend off. Mercedes fueling sabotage conspiracy theories, because why would they not fight for George by not attempting to go for the appeals? I mean, they already served the pen, I guess, but... If it starts a precedent that drivers won't serve pen, it means you know results till after the race, and also race can end. I think you guys are making this a bigger deal than what it is. Like, teams could always do this. Teams could always do this. But they're not going to do it unless they have a reason to do it. You know what I mean? I think people are forgetting, like, this was always a thing. This is not just like a new thing that happened. This has always been the case. Alpine knew there was an issue. Because everyone else, I at home could see there was an issue. The fucking stewards knew there was an issue. The teams knew there was an issue. So why serve the pens? You know what I mean? Maybe we do have to blame Mercedes and the other teams a little bit here. There was clearly an issue and they served their pens. To be fair, serving the pens under safety car wouldn't have been a big issue anyway. Red Risa, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Appreciate you coming with the Prime, man. Thank you for supporting for the first, subbing for the first time. Really do appreciate it, dude. Such good news for Gazzy, but teams are going to fight this because it's made a lot of results of the race illegitimate. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem now, right? Do you think Alpine already knew how to play their cards to appeal? Oh, 100%. 100%. That's why they didn't serve the pen. Do you think there would be another great comeback season for Max? What's up, Namish? If Red Bull could come back from where they are now, that would be insane. I hope, but doubt it. I think that's the reason why they never told Gazzy about the penalties. They were fighting. No, Gazzy knew. I don't know. That whole situation confused me. Guys, we got one of our new Red Bull flavors. Lilac, grapefruit, and blossom. I've only ever had this once before. Let's give it a try. Very flowery. Very floral. Not my favorite flavor, but it's not as bad as when I remember trying it a couple years ago when I wasn't, or a year ago when I wasn't a sugar-free fan. Now I'm a sugar-free fan, so. But yeah, big thank you to Red Bull UK for hooking me up with fucking 2 packs. I just realized if they took everyone's penalty off their times, I know they can't. Lewis would get P1 because he ended so tight. Yeah, but he didn't overtake Kimmy, so the 5 seconds are relevant. That's what I mean, that these penalties only really affected Russell. Okay, they only really affect Russell. The thing with Russell is if you are obligated to serve a drive-through, there's nothing he could have done. Yeah, true, true. Max quoting the F1 movie would understeer, oversteer. Vanilla Iceberry, yeah, that is goated, that is goated. Okay, maybe enough about the Gasly pen unless you guys have anything else that we should discuss, but what a shit show, man. What a shit show. Massive L for Mercedes, though. Imagine not serving a pen correctly, getting a tougher pen, adding on due to it, and then finding out that there was a possibility they could have petitioned the pen and likely won. Yeah. What are your predictions for this race? I think McLaren will be back in the mix. Or maybe ahead of Ferrari and Red Bull again this weekend. But I don't know. There's been so many upgrades recently. It's kind of hard to tell what is track dependent and what's been upgrade dependent. I need to drive for 30 minutes to get to work, man. Siak, catch that best do. Drive safe. Fantasy. I don't even think about fantasy until the practice sessions are done. What is the current track temps? What's the weather this weekend? I think it's quite hot. Let's have a look. Barcelona weather. 25 degrees today, 27 tomorrow, 27 on Sunday. So I reckon the track will be like, what, 38 degrees, roughly? I think it's usually like 12 degrees hotter. Oh, wait, we forgot to watch the Gasly video. I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about the whole Alpines celebrating their podium. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a negative Nancy, but like, they got the podium from bullshit. And drivers such as Russell and Piastri were robbed of a podium. And then it's like, hey, we're celebrating the fact that our appeal got approved, but like no one else's appeal got approved. I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I'm not saying they shouldn't celebrate it. I'm just saying like it's a really weird situation where it's like Hadja celebrated and he didn't even get a podium, so like free podium. So that's annoying. How, you know, celebrating a podium when you didn't actually get it, losing your trophy. And then, you know, I don't know. Like Alpine crying about losing their podium, fair, because like they got bullshit pens, but then if those bullshit pens didn't happen, they wouldn't have got a podium anyway. So it's like, I don't know, it's just a weird one. It's not like a clear cut, like one driver got a pen, got it reinstated, boom, you got your podium back. It's like, hey, I'm celebrating a podium that I got back, but really I shouldn't have this podium anyway because the other drivers got penned and that's bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's just a weird one. Jack Villeneuve back on Sky. Enjoy him. At least he's not on F1 TV this week. What's your favorite Red Bull flavor? Mine's Iced Edition. Ice is nice. Mine is probably coconut. But Ice Filler Berry might have moved up to P2 now. I think it deserves a celebration after the video of Gazzy in the car. I won't watch your streams for 2 weeks. So I'm going on a holiday to Tenerife. So enjoy your streams. Appreciate it, Zeke boy. Enjoy your holiday, dude. Where is Tenerife? Is that Spain? Canary Islands. Oh. And how's that? Yeah, it's weird, sure, but still third at the end of the day, I guess it's okay. But they rescinded. They have to do it for Oscar too. No, because Oscar served the pens. Have you seen where Alpine is in the constructors now? Like much money they're gonna get now. We'll have a look at the constructors and drivers championship after this. Dude, the red V-Cup livery looks so good. Tenerife is Spanish island west of Morocco. Ah. So Canary Islands are part of Spain. Are you ill? No, my nose is just running for some reason. Finns up 6 in a row. Huh? Silverstone got a WEC race next year. Yes, I saw that WEC calendar got announced and Silverstone has been added. That is going to be elite for WEC. That is going to be elite for Silverstone. If it doesn't clash with F1, we will be there. Faux show. One at Brands Hatch. Am I wrong in thinking Brands Hatch is too small for a WEC race? I understand why they're celebrating, but because it's a good result. Yeah, I'm not saying they shouldn't celebrate. I'm just saying, like, it's an awkward one of, like, you're celebrating something you wouldn't have got if it wasn't for all the bullshit. But then you were mad about the bullshit. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's like a contradictory kind of celebration, you know what I mean? But I get why they'd celebrate. It also leaves a sour taste in my mouth because of everything that happened. One post, fine. Multiples a bit over the top, yeah. 2 hours. Okay, put it this way. I don't mind Alpine celebrating now because, like, they got the podium, but obviously other drivers were still on the podium. But anyone, especially if it was Alpine or Gasly, complaining like, we were robbed of a podium celebration in Monaco, blah, blah. It's like, no. You would never have gone on that podium anyway if it wasn't for all this bullshit. So don't go around spewing shit like you were robbed of a podium celebration because it never would have happened without this bullshit. You should be lucky that this bullshit happened because somehow you were the only team that managed to use your brain and think, hey, I won't serve the pen. We'll appeal it later. Silverstone with these cars would be fun. Yeah, when was the last time WEC went to Silverstone? Nice bit of Isaac and Pierre, though. Glad to see it's not animosity. Oh, yeah. Hadja can't be mad at it. Like, he knows that he got that pen. That podium because of a bunch of crap. T-Mac is proof of dead internet theory. I know. I don't give a fuck. Gasly and Alpine are bummed. Yeah. T-Mac is dead internet theory. See, this best two guy, man. Why do I bother reading your messages, bro? Why do I bother reading your messages? I took time out of my day to read Bestu saying, bye, Ponden, I'm going to go drive now. And he's not even left. What was the point? Is FIA using AI to give these penalties? Well, there is AI systems in place for track limits now. But it still takes a human to give the penalties. It's just they have AI in place to save someone having to watch the corner 24/7. Again, a Silverstone F1 weekend. Probably not. I'm not gonna lie. Probably not. Fucking sucks, but I don't know. I had a company reach out to me this week saying, do you want to go? And then I replied being like, yeah, but like, what access am I gonna have? What am I gonna do? And then they didn't reply. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Let's not call it AI, please. It's just sensor monitoring. I think it's different. It used to be sensors. Now it's an AI system that looks at the cars and detects when they're off track. Did Hadja keep his points at least? Nope. He'd be moved down to P4. How about we scrap the results from Monaco GP from the championship? I like that idea. Make it a rule that if Bestu says he's leaving, mods time out his account. I like that. Does someone say Pierre Gasly? What's up, Seb? Yeah, I think there's nothing worse than what has just happened in like the sense of like people celebrating something that wasn't theirs, people not being able to celebrate something that was theirs. Like, I just think it really, I don't know. I just think it really, I don't know. It spoils at the end of the day. Like, you got V-Cubs celebrating their best result, and then it's like, oh, actually, it's not our best result. Yeah, we'll look at the updated results and standings after Gene top and the Audi garage. Okay. Aaron, fastest in Sector 3 right now. All right, how are the rookies doing so far? Aaron, P7. Vesty, P8. And then Bugano 16. Herder 19. Owasa 20. And Forneroli 21. And Browning 22. Forneroli and Browning haven't set a time yet. What's happening? How come Browning's not come out? Red Bull appealed against Pierre's podium, apparently. Interesting. I mean, look, the game's a game, right? The game's a game. Yeah. Thinking about it now, this is the first time non-F1 drivers are in this regulation of car. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it would be. This is the first time a non-full-time driver is hopping in these new generation of cars. And just like we saw in these early Grand Prix, like Piastri fucking over a curb into a wall. Or, you know, like Max with the race starts. Or like all these problems that these drivers have had to deal with and learn. These rookies are now having to do the same thing. And like, that's a prime example for Ganovich. He's like, whoa, I just had a sudden surge of power. What the fuck's that? Okay, bunch of shit coming out the back of Walletto. Just a fart, guys. Just a fart. Bubs over the volume. Is the blue light something new? So there's 3 lights now on the rear of the car. I think blue means they're going very slow. Purple means they're going medium slow. And red means they're harvesting. Or something like that. How do you think Socceroos will do at the Soccer World Cup? I think the Socceroos at the Soccer World Cup will kick the soccer ball. Oh, boy, let it off track. Maybe he's got an issue. Oh, is he stopping now? No. I don't know. I hope Australia make it out of the groups. I think we've got one of those groups where it's like on our day we could beat the teams. But also, it's not like we haven't got an easy match. You know what I mean? We haven't got like a Curacao or a fucking, you know. Crawford in Japan. Did Crawford drive the Aston Martin? That car's poo-poo anyway. Our group is super funny. Everyone can top it. Anyone can come like, yeah, exactly. Our group doesn't have a tier 1 team. But our team doesn't have a bottom tier team. They're all just like mid-pack. It's very bad of the FA to handle this. Had you actually let Gasly pass, just like Russell, because those two were going to receive a penalty? Had you let Gasly pass? Had you let Gasly pass? Is that what you're telling me? I don't think Hadja let Gasly pass. I'm fairly sure Hadja was dealing with many issues in the race, had a poor start. He didn't just let them pass. If he had known back then that the FA would turn everything around, he obviously wouldn't have let Gasly pass. He didn't let Gasly pass. I mean, if that's what you believe, I guess that's your opinion, but you remember Hadja was dealing with so many problems in that race. Both his race starts, he lost a place. YouTube comment. If Red Bull are trying to appeal Gasly getting his penalty removed, what is their argument though? I guess their argument is, I don't know, they're probably just trying to play on the whole like, I don't know, you can't overturn pens, or like, oh well, if the system is broken, then I don't know. Red Bull always going to do this, right? Red Bull is that team where, like, they don't care what's morally right. Like, they're going to do anything they can to win and do what's best for the team. That's what I always liked about Horner was, like, even if he didn't agree with his drivers, he would always go back Max up. He'd always back Max. And you got to do everything you can to win. So, you know, if they can appeal something and try persuade the FIA or whatever to get the penalty removed, which won't happen now. Now that the appeal's gone through, they're not going to get it removed. But at the time, if they could do anything they could to try get Gasly not have his penalty removed, that means Hadja keeps his podium. They're always pretty good in the high speed, and Max can win a GP before summer. Probably this one. Really, you reckon? When Max does like this track, but then look at last year. Yikes. Adam, thank you so much for the 54-month resub, dude. Really do appreciate coming with the tier 1 for 54 months. Hope you're doing well, sir. Hope you're doing well. 54 months is crazy, though, man. Thank you so much for the support for so long now. Wait, we're 0.7 seconds off the fastest preseason testing time. Oh, we'll be smashing that for sure. What do you think about Albon's special helmet? Yes, for people who don't know, Albon is rocking a special helmet in honor of Nigel Mansell, because today or this weekend he is passing Nigel Mansell as the longest standing Williams driver. So he's rocking a special Nigel Mansell helmet with the English flag or the British flag on it, which is pretty nice. It's pretty cool looking helmet too. Yay, my tummies are still broken. Thank you. Ah, does anything work? I'm having one of those days where everything's just pissing me off. Okay, cool. Russell up to the top by 0.6. Fortaroli. No great time there. Oh, it's mediums though. No, but still way off his teammate. It could be the biggest flop at the circuit. Maybe Ferrari? Mark Marquez in the Audi garage. Interesting. There's a former MotoGP driver. Wait, really? He's maybe retired. We don't know yet. Well, good, thank you. Busy weekend ahead with Le Mans World Cup of Barcelona. If I can fit it in. I hope you're doing well yourself. I'm doing well, so I'm doing well. Oh, Piastri, here we go. Fastest lap, sector 1. Kimi trackside on F1 TV. So many ads, bro. It sucks. Ow. Yeah, I don't know where the colors are for the drivers. Mate, last year you drove a good race. The only reason why the crash happened was because of the late safety car they made Red Bull going hard. Yeah, true. Oh, they cut back to Marc Marquez just to fix the graphic real quick. Just to fix the graphic. That is funny. Yo, he's gonna go to jawline. Charles using different brakes. He did say he was going to go towards Lewis's direction moving forward this weekend, so I have to see. Oh my god, it's actually hurting my brain, bro. It's hurting my brain I can't go on socials at the moment. Everyone's just crying that Gasly didn't get to celebrate his podium. I just saw a post saying, what is the point of even removing the penalty if they can't celebrate their podium? Maybe the fairity of results in the championship? Hello? Has this season made you feel deflated at all, even if it's just for brief periods? Oh, yeah. After Japan not having any F1 for 5 weeks after a mid-race with the unknown of how the regs were going to look for the rest of the season, that was a poo period. Like, the high of the new regs, the hype of the start of the season, then going into Australia, absolutely crazy race, China, absolutely crazy weekend, but obviously the kind of tremors of what could have been, what would look like bad regs. Then into Japan, which was a stinky or a mid-race with pretty poor regs, a crash caused from the regs being bad, into a 5 weeks of no F1. It was that was a very deflated period. But as soon as Miami came back, like, man, the regs were so much better. The racing was great. Qualifying was fixed. Canada's been great. Last week was great. Like, we've only had one mid-race, and the mid-race was still decent. You know what I mean? Like, this season has been really good so far. Like, so far, this is shaping up to be my third favorite season of Formula 1. At least. Has the potential to overtake last season. To be honest, has a really good chance. A really good chance of overtaking last season. Because last season, we had a lot of drama. We had a lot of, you know, obviously we had the championship battle. But, like, the racing was pretty mediocre. Let's be real. Like, the papaya rules was fucking boring. There was a lot of boring races. Like, I can't remember. Was there even an S tier race last year? I can't remember what my tier list looked like. Like, I'm fairly sure it was the race, it was the season with, like, the least amount of, like, S tier races I've ever done on a tier list. But the season was good as a whole. So this season, I think, has a real good potential of being better. For me, though, I don't look at F1 for the championship. Obviously, the championship makes such a difference, as you saw in 2021. The championship carried everything about that season. Because the racing was kind of poo. But the drama, the championship. But I don't watch F1 for the championship. I watch for everything else. And this season's been so fun so far. Like, the development race is the best I've witnessed in Formula 1. The stories of every single race, I think, have been, or the story throughout, sorry, the interest in the whole field has probably been the best I've seen. Yes, 2024, we had a lot of different winners and a lot of different podium sitters throughout the year, but, like, I care about Aston Martin and Cadillac's results. I care about Audi's results. I care about every team's results, which I've never really cared about in Formula 1 before, because, like, the regs of, I don't know, again, it comes back to the development race. The racing is just really, really good. The championship, see, you guys say the championship. Oh, there's no championship. There is a championship. Like, yeah, Kimi's 60 points ahead now, but, like, Russell's not a bum. And if Kimi does win the championship, a 19-year-old winning a championship, that's fucking huge. Going up against, I wouldn't say titans, but big dogs like Russell, Norris, Leclerc, Lewis, and Max. That is insane. And Piastri. That is insane. The only thing this season lacks for me is quali. I think that's the only downside to last year is qualifying. Obviously, championship we don't know yet. At the end of this year, I might be like, yeah, that was a mid-championship comparison last year, but we're, what, 7 rounds into a 24 round. We're not even we're already a fourth of the way through the season. Think about that. We're a quarter of the way through the season. No, a third of the way through the season. We can't even think about if this championship compares to last year or not. So right now, the only thing that's worse than last year is quali. But we had a really good quali in Monaco. So, yeah. Adam, what's up, dude? Sick top. Thank you. It's really nice, isn't it? It's so clean. I do wish, like, I like the football crest, but I do wish this was just the V-carb logo, the normal V-carb logo. Other than that, it's clean. Miami, Canada, and Monaco had good qualities. Reg tweaks help so much. Yeah, I can't even remember, bro. I don't know. I don't know if it's. I don't know what it is, but like I feel like I don't remember anything in the F1 world anymore. Like I used to remember every little detail. I used to remember everything. Now it's like I can't even tell you. Well, I can actually remember Monaco quite well. But let's go Canada. Like, okay, Kimi won. And then was that the podium with Lewis and Max? Max and Lewis? I think so. You know what I mean? Like, it's so hard to keep up with F1 now. And I don't know if that's because, am I less interested? No, that's not the case because I stream more F1, real life F1 than I ever have. I talk about more real life F1 than I ever have. I think it's just my brain is blending so many seasons into each other and like, it's always what's the next race? What's the next race? It's always what's the next race. I think as well, like I used to watch a lot of the F1 channel on my channel on Twitch. I used to watch like the, you know, like the, I don't know, like the radio rewinds or like this, that, and the other. I really like remember stuff, but now it's like, I don't know, we don't do that anymore. So it's just like, I remember because you're an adult now and have many things going on. Maybe. Is that actually it? Am I unk? It's because they do one race every month. I think it's a combo of the regs just being confusing and we have less knowledge of what's happening. Yeah, but I felt the same way in 25 and 24 as well, just not really remembering like what the fuck was happening. Christo! Thank you so much for the follow. And Adam, they have the 4-month resub of Prime, dude. Fuck them ads. Appreciate yourself for 4 months, dude. Appreciate you coming to the Prime. Ads gone. Hell yeah. While you're in ads, I just said, is that it? Am I unk now? I just can't remember things. Is my brain just taken up by too many things? Maybe you're just like balls deep in other stuff too. There's a lot going on. Maybe. Is that what happens when you get older? But the thing is, like, it's bad because it's like, do I care less? Like it makes me feel like when I don't remember stuff, it's like, do I care less? But the thing is, like, I don't care less. I still love F1. Maybe it is I do care less, but not in like a negative way. Not like I care less about Formula 1. I think it's like I care less about remembering everything about F1 because I'm just so focused on what's next. I think that's the difference. It's like when I was first getting into Formula 1, so let's say the first like 5 years, all I was thinking about is like learning about Formula 1, remembering Formula 1, being like wanting to know everything about Formula 1. Whereas the last 2 years, all I care about, well, not all I care about, the main thing I care about is like content side of things and like what's next? What's the next race? What am I doing next on the next race? What am I, la, 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 la. So it's just like, it's not that I don't care. I think it's just like my brain capacity is shifted more towards the future than the past. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, you can, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. I think you get what I'm saying. No, that's just growing up doing many things to think about. Right. I'll take your word for it. You know, you're like 32 years old or whatever. Less time to hyper focus. Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, that's what I was kind of referring to as like the hyper focus. Like, I was so hyper fixated on Formula 1 for like years. It gets to a point where like, well, I've learned everything about the sport. I'm not going to hyper fixate on it anymore. Even though I stream every single week and I talk about F1 every single day, I can't hyperfixate on it forever. And to be honest, I think like it also helps with burnout a little bit. Like doing other motorsports and doing other stuff as well has really helped with like, I don't know. Like for instance, the last 2 years, and again, this has nothing to do with me not caring about F1. It's like me balancing my life of like, as soon as I end my stream, I don't like watch F1. Like I have not watched the last 2 seasons of Drive to Survive as much. I love the show, but I just haven't watched the last 2 seasons because like when I end my stream, the last thing I want to do is watch F1. And like I don't watch F1 YouTubers. I don't watch F1 streamers. I don't even like get much F1 stuff on my TikTok. I don't scroll Twitter anymore. Like I only really look at F1 when I'm live. Other than Instagram, I only look at F1 when I'm live. And again, that's not because I don't care. It's just because, like, I don't want to burn myself out by making my whole life 24/7 F1. You know what I mean? Because I'm already live for so long talking about F1 anyway. The new V Covers livery is too good. Which team will you support in FIFA? Well, I got 3 choices to support. I mean, England will obviously be the main team I support, though. Like, living here, being a British citizen, and also, I mean, the only team that's actually got a real chance of the 3 that I can support. I confirm it happens when you're older. I'm as deep into F1 as I've ever been, but I just can't remember everything that happened. I'm checking standings results all the time to remind myself. Yeah. I think as well, sometimes your care changes. Like, when you first get into F1, you're like, oh, Gazzy's in P8. Will he go for P7? You try to, like, I don't know. But then, like, I've gotten to the point now, it's just like, I don't really care if Gazzy's in P8. Like, okay, I'll see where he is next week. Or I'll see where he is at the end of the season. Every World Cup it changes. He has a rotation. Yep. It's a sign that you've done everything you can. Now the only thing left is become an F1 driver. Exactly. How do you deal with missing huge news that could be content? I don't. Again, I still go on Instagram and I obviously have I look at Discord. I'm in a similar way. As someone who works on software for cars, the last thing I want to do when I finish is watch F1. I find Wex SNS was better. Interesting. Felt so Mexican watching the match yesterday. Oh yeah, we did watch the highlights. We do need to watch the highlights. I want to make sure I keep up with the FIFA World Cup highlights. So every single day we go live, we watch the highlights. There was 2 matches last night, right? South Korea versus Czechia. I don't know what the result of that is, so don't tell me. Don't tell me they put them in the titles. If they put the scores of the titles, I'm banning FIFA from Earth. FIFA highlights. Oh, they put it in. Wait, no, that's BBC. Okay, good. The official. Wait, no, that's ITV. Wait. TVNZ. Where are the highlights? Does FIFA World Cup not upload them? Oh, FIFA don't upload them. Wait, did they? I'm so confused. So I have to watch them on my local broadcaster. So that's who? BBC or ITV? Okay, ITV. Wait, why has this got fucking interview in it? What's better? Yo, UK peeps. BBC or ITV highlights? Which one should I watch? BBC fucking put the score in the thumbnail and in the title. ITV don't. ITV, BBC, ITV. I gotta mold for a second, guys. I love that the World Cup is free to watch in the UK, right? Love it. But I would rather pay money for the app to work. The ITV app does not work on my fucking TV. It does not load. I reset my TV. I uninstalled the app. I reinstalled the app. I fucking logged out, logged in. I did everything. The app would not work. I go on Twitter and I search ITVX. Of course, everyone's fucking complaining. It won't load. It's buffering. Why won't it load? Why isn't it working? Why is the app stuck? Blah, blah, blah. I would rather pay fucking £20 for 2 months and have the World Cup that works in 4K, beautiful, than have it for free and it not fucking work. I'm not even kidding. Thankfully, our TV has AirPlay. Thankfully, I can get an ITV app on my phone and AirPlay it to my TV. Thank fuck for that. But holy shit, I missed the first half because I was troubleshooting. Rant over. ITV did the 2 games last night, but it depends on who is showing it on TV. Well, that was the thing. I went on BBC, and it was audio only. Do you think I'm 80 years old? Who the fuck listens to audio only anymore? Wait, so you're telling me some games will be on BBC and some games will be on ITV? I thought they were just going to be on both. Good game that was. Yeah, look good. I had it on the TV. You know what football is like? You kind of just put on the TV and you kind of watch, but don't really like pay attention. What's the career match on SBS? The American commentator was saying shit like both goalkeepers have been pitching shutout so far. What the fuck? Do we get English commentary or do we get global commentary? Like, is there an English commentator for every match or do we get global commentary? How does it work? English. Wait, sorry. When I say English, I mean British. Like, obviously it's English. But, like, is it, like, one English-speaking... Like, is it English commentary for Australia, New Zealand, America, England? Or, like, is there specific commentators for each game? For each country? Even worse in Scotland, we have to use STV. STV, my god. ITVX took me, like, 50 minutes to log in. It was shockingly bad. We get the World Cup for free in Oz, but we have to deal with commentators that make me cherish Crofty and Rundle. Oh, yeah, the Australian commentary is so good. The problem is that we're paying for it. That's what they have TV license for. So much money every year. Oh, yeah. I forgot I pay for my TV license. Oh, yeah. ITV started talking about Mexico politics mid-game. Probably fun stuff. What's up, K Samurai? Guys, raise your hand if you have a TV license. Raise your hand if you have a TV license. Why don't Aussie get British commentators, for fuck's sake? The fact that they can collude to show half-half to force people to get a subscription for both is mind-boggling for me. No, it's free. It's free. Both apps are free. Love them. And this commentary doing ITV or BBC only comes, right? Suspension should be Gazzy. Yeah, every country has their own accent for their commentary, right? Guess you can't turn forwards. Yeah, nice one. One-time podium sitter, by the way. I have Estonian commentary, so I think every country has its own one, right? So you're telling me Australian has to commentate some random fuck-ass, like, Curacao versus Congo match? There's American commentators on TV? Oh, that's great. Screw TV license. But guys, if you don't pay it, they're gonna keep sending you letters saying they're gonna show up at your door. I got so they kept telling me they were gonna come to my door, so whoo. It's scary, man. It's scary when you get those piece of papers. But people that don't know what we're talking about, in the UK, there's a thing called a TV license. So everyone in the UK who uses free-to-air TV has to pay for a TV license. And if you don't, they can come to your house and check if you've got a TV and fine you. No one's ever come to my house. But that's because I paid for it. But no one's ever come to my house. It's so whack. But the thing is, we don't use free-to-air TV. I pay for my Sky Sports. I pay for my Sky Sports and I watch YouTube. Or to say pissed off. I mean, that's the thing. When I first moved here, they were like, I was informed, like, if you don't watch free-to-air TV, you don't need to pay for it. And we don't watch free-to-air TV. And if they come to your house, you could just say no. So, like, what is the point in a TV license? I don't get it. It's not just owning a TV that's the problem. You could own a TV and just use it for games console, for example. It's specifically about watching a certain channel, yeah. It's bullshit. As long as you have access to iPlayer, basically, you're supposed to pay now. Lotto not happy with the car. In Switzerland, they make people pay for a radio license. Who the fuck listens to the radio? Wow. Fuck. My nana gets so pissed when I tell her I don't pay for the license, but I don't watch BBC or anything. It's a waste of money. Yeah. I mean, even if you did, like, I don't get it. Why not just force everyone in the country to pay it? Or why not make it a subscription system? Why do they have this, like, complicated, like, system? I wish BBC would stop using our money to make shitty TV shows that would save us loads of money. Never heard of TV license? Yeah, it's a weird system. Never heard of it until I moved here as well. The TV license is why BBC shows don't have or didn't have ad breaks. Not sure if it's changed. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, the TV licensing made sense. I don't know. How much even is the TV license? Do you need a TV license to watch the World Cup? Not needed to watch it. Yeah, because it's on BBC. Ah, damn. Okay, I'll be sure to pay my TV license after the stream. Some countries need one to buy a TV. I'd rather buy an Apple TV than buy a TV license if I lived in the UK. Well, that's my point. Like, who the fuck watches free to air TV anymore? Just put adverts on. It's not like we aren't absolutely blasted with them 24/7 everywhere. £180 a year? Bruh. Post receipt on Discord. Alright, we'll do. What, do you work for TV license? If I don't, you're gonna come knock down my door. Oh my god, the session's done! What the hell? Alright, FP1's done. What the fuck? F1 and EPL. Yeah, so in the UK, F1, Premier League, darts, cricket, golf, IndyCar are on Sky Sports. I'm trying to think. Oh, tennis? No. Oh, wait for everyone's times to finish and then we'll talk about... Dude, that 1000 GP livery for McLaren is so nice. Interesting session though. I mean, I wasn't paying too much attention, but so many people driving with air rake, so many rookies, so much medium running. All right, going through. We've got Browning in last. Didn't even do a lap. Wow. W rookie session. What time of day? Oh, Colton Herter locking up. Browning didn't even do a lap. Herter coming in last. He was 1.8 seconds off of Bottas, his teammate. Not too great. Then we got Stroll. Then we got Alonso, Bottas. Then we got Gasly. Gasly getting beaten by Aaron. Where's Aaron? Whoa! Aaron up in P6. Oh, anyway, Aaron's in the Audi. Oh, no, sorry. Gasly and Colapinto. Okay. Then we got Vesti. He was 2 seconds off of Russell, so not very comfortable in that Mercedes. Then we got Awasa, sorry. 1.3 seconds off of Max. That's not too bad, to be honest, in a Red Bull. Then we got Sainz. Then we got Bortoletto. Bortoletto was beaten by Aaron. Aaron, 9 tenths ahead of Bortoletto. Wow. Big shout out to Aaron. That was a really, really good session for him. Then we got Behrman. Then we got Colapinto. Then we got Lindblad. Then Bogdanovic was 9 tenths off of Leclerc. Not too bad. Then You've got Lawson. You've got Aaron. Second best of the rookies, but I would say best in terms of performance. Beating his teammate by 9/10. Up in P6. Best of the rest, by the way. Best of the rest. Paul Aaron in an Audi. That is a really good session for Aaron. Holy shit. Then Fornaroli. Only 6/10 off of Piastri. That's a really good session for him. I believe one of his first times in an F1 car as well. Aaron's had a lot of time in an F1 car, but I think that's one of Fornaroli's first times. So that's a really good session for Aaron, for Fornaroli as well. Best of the rookies, but obviously in a McLaren versus an Audi. Then Verstappen, then Leclerc, then Piastri, and then Russell at the top. No, Alpine, Aaron's still a part of Alpine. It's just, I don't think Audi have a reserve driver to use. So Alpine have loaned Fornaroli. Loan Paul Aaron, I should say. What can you tell me about Aaron? Paul Aaron is from Estonia. He was a part of the Mercedes Driver Academy, but then he got let go after Kimi and Russell got promoted because they were happy with Vesti and they didn't see the point in having Aaron sitting around doing nothing when they already have Vesti and the future of Mercedes there. So he got let go. He chose to go to Alpine for some reason. But honestly, it's a pretty good choice. He's been getting a lot of time in the car. He's been getting loaned out to Audi and another team as well. I can't remember. So, yeah, I think Aaron's actually doing pretty good. Yeah, Aaron did the same last year with Haasno. Yeah. Rob's fellow countryman. Exactly. The rare Estonian beast. No, so Aaron was an F2 for a couple years. He's no longer an F2. He's just a reserve driver for Alpine now. Yeah, so Browning, Herter, not Browning, sorry, Herter and Bogdanovic. Yeah, only them two. Herter and Bogdanovic now have to somehow reset their brain and hop in their F2 car in an hour for no, not even, probably like half an hour for qualifying. Yeah, obviously all the other rookies are just reserve drivers who aren't doing F2 anymore. But yeah, Herter and Bogdanovic, we'll see them in F2 later. Anyways, guys, that wraps up FP1. Not much of an interesting session, but obviously a lot to talk about with the breaking news and just stuff coming into the weekend. And then a little bit of chat about football and TV licenses as well. Big shout out to Paul Aaron for that session. That was insane. And Fornaroli as well, doing a really, really good job. Yeah, best of the rest, Paul Aaron. Anyways, we've got practice 2 in 2.5 hours. In the meantime, though, we've got F2 qualifying. So be sure to stick around. We're going to be watching that on the stream. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, come join us on Twitch. We're going to be doing some different stuff now on the stream. We've got some Discord stuff to scroll through. We've got some YouTube videos to watch. So come join us on Twitch. But YouTube, be sure to subscribe down below. Be sure to like. Otherwise, I'll see you for FP2 later. Bye-bye.